So hello everyone, this is Akash. Welcomes you all into the fourth episode of my LinkedIn initiative entitled as this VLSIpedia. So today's topic of the discussion is that the overview of AMBA family. So before starting the video, I want to clear the two things. First thing first is that this particular AMBA family is pretty much used concept, like it will take almost 40 to 50 hours, but we're gonna discuss some basic things about it and we'll take the overview of this particular AMBA family. Second thing, this video may get little bit of longer that as this concept is pretty much huge, and if you want to learn the deeper and deeper concepts about this particular AMBA family, you can go and check this particular ARM manuals of these different bus protocols available on this internet and you can study them. So let's start today's video. So first thing is that what is AMBA? So AMBA stands for this Advanced Microcontroller Bus Architecture. So firstly, I would like to share some history about it. So around this year 1980s or 1990s, the basic microcontroller or the processors like 8085 or 8051 are introduced. At that time, this bus like the address bus or the data bus or the control bus are used to carry the data addresses or to control this particular functional blocks. But as the technology is enhancing day by day, so at that time the technicians found that this particular address bus and the data bus are inefficient to handle this particular high processor specifications. So that's the reason the ARM company introduced a bus architecture in year 1996 and named it as a AMBA. It is a AMBA. Some people call it as AMBA also. So this particular AMBA is introduced by the ARM company in year 1996. Okay, so what is this function of this AMBA? So as we all aware of the SoC, that is a system on chip consists of the different kinds of this functional blocks. So it can be your processor, it may be from this Intel or this ARM or the other companies. Nextly, it consists of your on-chip resources like timers, UARTs, interrupts, ports, GPIOs, or it can be your DMA controllers, it can be your on-chip RAM or the flash memory, etc. So these are the various kinds of the functional blocks of the SoC. So we want to interconnect this all functions together to get a single system on chip. So to interconnect these functional blocks with each other, we use this particular bus architecture AMBA. So this AMBA connects all functional blocks together to form a single SoC. So in AMBA, there are almost 10 plus bus architectures are given by this particular ARM. But today we're going to discuss the most important and most favorable 5 interconnect protocols. First, that is the Advanced Peripheral Bus, that is the APB. Second, Advanced High Performance Bus, that is the AHB. Third, Advanced Extensible Interface, that is the AXI. Fourth, AXI Coherency Extension, that is the ACE. And fifth and the last is a Coherency Hub Interface, that is CHI. Next thing, the AMB evolution. Like as I told in 1995-1996, the ARM introduced this first version of this AMBA, and as the time evolves, I am showing here the time axis at the horizontal. So as the time evolves, we get the different kinds of this AMBA version like AMBA 1, AMBA 2, 3, 4, and 5. Into the first version, there is a single bus protocol. There is a APB. It is the first protocol introduced by this particular ARM in this AMBA architecture. In the second version, we got this APB2 or the AHB. In third version, we got the APB3 or AHB lite. Like these are this extended and the advanced version of this AHB and APB. Also into the same generation, we got this AXI3. In fourth generation, the APB4, and the AXI4 consists of the 3 different versions like AXI4, there is the original version, then AXI4 Lite and AXI4 Stream. Also in the same version we got this more advanced bus protocol, there is the ACE, and lastly the most recent generation, there is the AMBA 5 family, which is introduced in year around 2013 and consists of this bus protocols like AHB5, AXI5, ACE5 and the CHI. So first, that is the Advanced Peripheral Bus, that is the APB. So as I told, this is the first AMB interconnect protocol which is designed to interconnect the low bandwidth peripherals of the SoC. So at that particular time, the processors were just at the development stage, and it consists of this very on-chip resources like as I told, UART, timer, GPIOs, or the keypad. So these particular low bandwidth peripherals can be connected with each other using this APB. It's an advanced peripheral bus. If we go and check this ARM architecture manual of this APB, we can see that it consists of the single master slave. M/S stands for the master slave. So it consists of the single master slave interface without pipelining this address and the data phase. And as time evolves, the processors becomes more and more complex, and we introduce the more functional blocks like high bandwidth on-chip RAM and DMA bus master, or it consists of the high bandwidth external memory interface. So this particular APB is totally inefficient to interconnect these particular blocks. Like these are the high bandwidth and requires a high performance, and APB is kind of this insufficient to achieve these specifications of these resources. So the second bus, that is AHB, it is introduced. It is an advanced high performance bus. In the name itself, it suggests that it is used for this high performance. So this particular AHB is designed for this interconnecting the high bandwidth function blocks of the SoCs like the processor, DMA controller, on-chip, RAM, etc. in order to get this maximum performance. Like how do we get this maximum performance? Like as the second point is that it consists of the multiple master slave interfaces like a single bus architecture. If you go and refer this ARM manual, you can see here that it consists of the multiple master slave interfaces which is used to connect different kinds of the functional blocks at a single time with this pipeline address and the data phases. Like we know this pipeline concept, and due to this pipelining, the performance of this bus is getting more and more advanced. The third and most important thing is that it consists of the large bus widths of varying from 64 to 1024 bits. Like the APB bus consists of this almost 32 byte of the maximum 32 byte of this bus width, but here it consists of the bus width varying from this 64 to 1024 byte. And the updated version of this AHB is consisting of this AHB lid, which consists of a single master multiple slaves architectures, and it also consists of the AHB5 versions. And the applications of this AHB is the ARM7 and the ARM9 architecture versions, and in ARM Cortex-M processor, this advanced peripheral bus is used into the more and more extent in order to meet the specifications of this SoCs. So next, that is this advanced extensible interface, the AXI. As I told, the processors at that particular time are enhancing day by day, and the technicians found that in some extent the AHB bus is also unable to meet some processor specifications. So they introduced a more advanced version, that is an advanced extensible interface, that is a AXI bus protocol. It is used for this high performance and the high clock frequency protocol. It consists of the separate address and these data phases in order to get the maximum performance. Also, it supports this byte-strobe data transfer and the bus-based instructions. So in the bus-based instruction, it consists of the two kinds of this bus. It can be the incremental bus or it kind of the RAB bus. So the words I'm using here, you will feel gibberish about it, like what I'm talking about. But if you go and refer this ARM manual, these concepts are explained into the very easy manner. So the updated version of this AXI, it is this AXI 3, AXI 4, or in AXI 4 there are different three versions. There is a AXI first version, it consists of the lit version and the stream version, and most advantage it is of this AXI 5. Nextly, the AXI bus, it is widely used on the SoCs and the embedded system which are developed with this ARM Cortex-A processors. Next thing, it is an AXI coherency extension. It is an ACE bus protocol. So as a processor technologies are evolving, so this bus architecture is considered to be inefficient. That is, AXI is considered to be inefficient. Why? So at that particular time, the single processor it is used on the SoC or this embedded system. But as the technology evolved, we were using the dual core or quad core or the octa core processor. Like it consists of more than two processors on a single SoC. And if the huge number of these processors are on the SoC, we need to meet the specifications of this all processors, and there must be, most important thing is that there must be a synchronization between all kinds of all the processors are interconnect into the single SoC. So into this multiprocessor architecture, which consists of a single shared memory, the AXI bus protocol fails to meet the specification. Hence the ACE bus protocol it is introduced. It consists of the single level signal communication between this master and slaves. Also, it enables the one-way I/O coherence. Like as I told, it is used to find out this coherency between the multiple processors. And in a single processor, the most important thing is that it's cache memory. So every different processor have its different kind of this cache memory, and we require to get the maximum synchronization and the coherency between these multiple processors, and which is achieved by this particular ACE protocol. So the updated version of this ACE is that the ACE Lite, and the ACE protocol it is used into the latest ARM Cortex-A processors, like it can be a A7 or the A9, and the SoCs and the embedded system developed with this particular ARM Cortex-A processors. The last and the most advanced and the most complex bus protocol it is at the coherent hub interface, that is CHI. So again the technology is getting day by day. So what technician found is that for this multiple processors here, it is used for this single level signal communications between this master and slaves. And as the number of the processor on the single chip is getting 2, 4, 8 or more and more, and the core versions are getting increasing, the silicon area of this particular using this particular ACE protocol is become very much large. Like it considers the large numbers of this wiring and the silicon for this particular interconnect. So technician and the ARM develop the more advanced protocol is a coherent hub interface, that is CHI. And before this particular all bus protocol, like from this APB, AHB, AXI or the ACE, the data and the communication is based on the bytes. But in CHI, the communication and this data is transferred in form of this layered packet base, due to which the data communication becomes very faster. And also it supports the data link layer and the physical layer implementation, as well as this QoS based flow control. So basically the data link layer and the physical layers are the concept of this data communication and the network. So somehow this particular coherent bus hub interface connected this particular the data communication domain and this processor domain together in order to meet this high and advanced specifications. And it is used into the advanced ARM processors, like it may be a Neon or this Cortex-A, Cortex-R or the Cortex-M kind of the processors, and these SoCs are based on it. So these are the popular 5-bus interconnect protocols which are used by this ARM into different kinds of the architectures, SoCs and the embedded systems. So there are much more many bus protocols are available, and I'm just given a basic overview of this particular bus protocols. If you want to learn more, you can refer this ARM manual for it, and it is explained into the much more simpler way. So that's it for today. I hope I have cleared the basics of this AMBA family to you. If you have any doubts, let me know into the comment section. If you find something interesting here, don't forget to hit the like button. You can connect with me by this particular LinkedIn and mail links. So that's it for today. Thank you so much for the listening, and I will see you in the next Sunday.